Hi guys. Regarding the 5-year licensing in Sweden on handguns or one-handed weapons and machine guns, we have some news. So let's have a look at that. Oop. So first of all, let's just get one thing absolutely clear. This is from riksdagen.se and the Parliament official webpage. This is our constitution, or what passes as it. So first row of everything is all power in Sweden comes from the people. Right. All offentlig makt i Sverige utgår från folket. Then we scroll down a bit. Parliament is the people's representatives, basically. Riksdagen är folkets främsta företrädare. So Parliament will represent the people's will. So what Parliament says is the will of the people, which is where all the power in Sweden comes from. That is according to our constitution. Right. So now we set that in stone, right? So, a parliamentarian called Marttinen sent a written question to our Minister of Justice, Morgan Johansson from the Social Democrats. So let's just so he goes through the background here, and the background is that several times Parliament has said that the 5-year licensing, where we have to renew our license every 5 years for handguns mostly, is to be removed. And in January 2021, this year, Parliament voted through that the government, basically the Social Democrats under Morgan Johansson, this guy, has until December to remove, or at least come forward with a proposition on how to change the law so the 5-year requirement is removed. That was a set date for December, and I spoke with Sten Bergheden from the Moderate Party, who is opposition, and he's in the Justice Committee, Justitieutskottet as well. And I asked him, so what's going to happen when they're obviously going to refuse to do anything? And he said, well, we're going to look at it, basically. So our opposition isn't worth that much. But anyway, last time this was voted through in Parliament was in January 2021, and the date was December for the government to do something. And anyway, Marttinen from the Swedish Democrats asked, will the minister and the government before the end of 21 get back to Parliament with a suggestion to change the law according to what Parliament has voted for since 2019 and the last time in January 2021? Okay, so an official paper and everything. Right. So let's see what he answered. We got an answer from this guy, Morgan Johansson. So a bunch of hot air. And then he basically refers back to when they went through the how they want to implement the European Union's firearms directive, and said that they went through what to do about 5-year licensing and shit that time, and they're not going to do anything else. They're not going to do anything. And that time they said we're not going to do anything. So they want to basically keep it as it is. They don't want to change anything. So what they're doing here, what Morgan Johansson is doing here and the government, is basically disabling let's go back to the other camera. They're basically disabling democracy in Sweden. So you can't really, with a straight face, call it democracy in Sweden anymore, because Parliament has repeatedly said, according to our constitution, they are the ones who can give an order to the government to perform a task. The government is the executive branch. They are supposed to come back to Parliament with a proposition on how to perform the mission they got from Parliament. Parliament don't have the resources to do it themselves, but technically they can. And they have threatened to just pass this law themselves. So we'll see if they have the balls to do that. Probably not. But it would be a good kick in the balls for the government if Parliament just said, stick it up your whatever and do it anyway without going through the government. Anyway, that's probably not going to happen, but they technically can do it. Anyway, the government has just... They don't give a shit anymore. They don't follow what Parliament has decided. So if a politician makes a motion in parliament and it passes, that doesn't mean anything in Sweden anymore. It doesn't really. Unless the socialists in government thinks it's a good idea, then they say, okay, we'll let that pass. That means that the representative democracy in Sweden does not work. And this is the proof of it. And there's a lot of different things as well. Back in 2017, spring of 2017, Parliament decided that you should be able to hold government officials accountable when they do something wrong. It's called tjänstemannaansvar in Swedish. They voted that that should come back. The socialists removed it back in the 70s because, and I quote, the state can never do anything wrong. Our current government hasn't done shit about that either. Back in 2015, Parliament voted that we should have a new government agency to handle wildlife instead of the current one. And they have done zero about that as well. And I think we have like 17 different decisions from Parliament regarding gun laws that's good for gun owners that they haven't done shit about either. So yeah, I'm sorry to say, our current political system does not work in Sweden. Now you know. Good luck, have fun when we have an election in September 2022, because it's not gonna matter. See ya.